Agent Marks, a short story. Agent Kyle Marks had his reassignment paperwork in hand, wondering what kind of hellhole he'd landed in this time. His new duty station, a rural town, maybe 200 or 300 souls, at least 10% of whom were earning government paychecks. If they weren't with the agency, they were with the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, or some shady contractor with a 5-letter acronym. Everyone mingled after hours, even though fraternization was supposedly against regs. Outposts like this were little rumors held together with spit, beer, and paranoia. He'd read his orders a dozen times. They told him as much as a grocery store tabloid, nothing at all. Marks knew in the marrow of his cynical soul that he'd pissed off the wrong bastard in D.C. A senator, a congressman, some smug asshole who didn't like the fact he hadn't shaved for a couple of days, or maybe it was a function last month when he'd had one too many bourbons and shot his mouth off about something some prick had pulled the day before. Didn't matter. The agency was half politics anyway. Smile at people who deserved a punch in the face. Shake hands with the kind of man who made war crimes sound like policy. And fuck it, he tried. He'd cupped the balls and played nice, let the bureaucracy ram him every which way. Still, somewhere along the way, he'd said the wrong thing to the wrong person, and now he was here. He swore under his breath as he approached the squat beige office on the corner of Main and Charlie. Yes, Main Street, named after the state. That was about as creative as this town got. The bar shut down at 9 sharp. Recreation meant hitting golf balls off of a dirt lot with a vending machine that spat out buckets for $10. The grocery store was a glorified 7-Eleven, and the coffee shop didn't open before work because the owner's son was too hungover or didn't care, and the owner didn't have any shits left to give. Son of every bitch alive, Marks muttered as he rang the tiny brass bell on the counter in his new office. Out walked a man who might have been law enforcement once, back before the donuts won the war, crumbs clinging to his shaggy beard like medals of dishonor. "Can I help you?" the man asked, still chewing. "Christ," Marks muttered. Louder, he said, "I'm Marks." The fat man smirked. "Paperwork?" Marks dropped his orders on the counter, 2 lines tops, yet the guy read them like it was cracking the Rosetta Stone. "It's 2 fucking lines, man," Marks snapped. "How long can it take?" The man looked up, dead-eyed. "Don't have to be an asshole, bud." Marks thought about apologizing, with the words jammed in his throat. Instead, he followed through 2 cramped back rooms into an open office, carved into cubicles barely big enough to breathe in. 10 desks, all crammed together. His nameplate sat at the far wall. None of the other names were familiar. "Fuck," he muttered. "Yeah," the fat man agreed, sitting at his own desk to watch sports recaps loud enough for the whole office to hear. Marks thought about punching the desk, thought about shattering it into splinters and enjoying the 3 glorious minutes of destruction before the inevitable 3 hours of disciplinary paperwork. Instead, he punched it once, solid, sharp, then sat down. "You really fucked up, Kyle," he whispered. "You ran your mouth, and here you are, pushing papers in the kind of office no one will ever find. This place is more hidden than the goddamn clitoris from the chess team on prom night." The PC on his desk looked like it had been dragged out of a landfill. He powered it on and waited for the fans to whine and the glacial boot cycle. He prayed for orders in his inbox, anything that looked like work. Nothing, just Friday's transfer paperwork, Saturday's move, Monday's boredom. God damn it. He barked loud enough for the fat man to grunt something in reply from his desk. He spent the first 3 hours drafting an email to his old boss. Wrote it, deleted it, rewrote it, edited it. Finally, he deleted it and settled on, "What the actual fuck did I do, Harry?" He hit send, not even sure the profanity would make it past the 30 filters between here and DC. Probably destined to vanish as a spam message, just like he would in this ghost town. He shut the computer and walked across the street to the bar. 2 whiskeys in, he seriously considered quitting. He was in his early 40s, 2 decades of service, with a resume that could land him work anywhere. His buddy Eli had offered him a job before. So easy a Marine could do it, he said. Babysitting Hollywood assholes and billionaires. A personal hell for Marks, but hell paid well. He imagined Eli's clients, some movie star preaching about mindfulness while snorting coke off of a model's stomach, some decrepit pervert with liver spots paying underage girls to pretend they liked him. Marks choked at the idea. He ordered his third whiskey. The bartender had tried small talk earlier. Marks shut him down with a silent stare until things got awkward. Now, the bartender kept his distance, only looking over to see if his glass was empty. By the fourth drink, Marks figured he was technically AWOL. He hoped someone would notice. He hoped they'd terminate him. His record made that unlikely, but he could dream, and so he did. He dropped a 20 and walked out of the bar. He'd apologize later for not tipping. This town only had the one bar. He couldn't afford to burn that bridge. Not yet. Back in the office, Fat Man gave him a nod. Marks ignored it, sat back down. His inbox blinked a reply. Dickhead, it was out of my hands. You're a good agent. I'm reaching out. Sit tight. Harry. Marks slammed his head against the desk. A thin white envelope cushioned the blow. He hadn't noticed it before. Depression or drinking? He didn't know. He opened it. A single trifold paper, one long web address. He typed it in carefully. 404, site not found. He sighed, tried again. This time a login screen appeared. Just username and password. No instructions, no codes, no nothing. Fuck it. He typed his government credentials, knowing full well it could be a setup. Nothing happened. The guilt hit him like a hammer. If his credentials opened the wrong doors, lives could be lost. He picked up the phone and he called cybercrimes. Kyle Marks, Longbro, Nebraska. He rattled off the details and explained what had happened. They put him on hold. 10 minutes. An hour. 2 hours. Finally, a new voice. No issue, no breach. Update your password. Log in again. Click. The line went dead. Marks groaned. Mondays. He went through the ritual of changing his password, and then he tried to log into the site again. This time, black text filled the white screen. Project Fox, orientation debrief. Subject, Agent Kyle Marks. Classification, top secret, eyes only. Agent Marks, you have been selected for an assignment to Project Fox, a newly established program tasked with the identification, analysis, capture, and containment of individuals exhibiting anomalous abilities, commonly referred to as magical in nature. Current intelligence indicates such individuals are extremely rare, but each represents a potential threat to national security and civilian stability. Your immediate assignment is to work with Subject Aurora 1, a civilian female displaying the ability to perceive auras and potentially identify other anomalous individuals. Subject Aurora 1 possesses no military or technical background. She was acquired in the early phases of Project Fox and is permitted limited civilian status only through strict government oversight and cooperation. Be advised, all powered individuals, regardless of apparent intent or usefulness, are to be approached as latent hostiles. Detention, black site transfer, or termination protocols can be initiated. Your role is to observe, evaluate, and ensure full containment of Subject Aurora 1 while providing actionable intelligence on her capabilities and potential to expose or detect others. Remain vigilant. These individuals are an unknown quantity. Assume danger at all times. End debrief. Fucking X-Files, Mark muttered. I'm a fucking Mulder who gets to babysit? In what world is this a promotion? He read and reread the debrief, wondering if someone had spiked his drinks at the bar, wondering if his tolerance had dropped, wondering if he was dreaming in a coma somewhere, brain feeding him the dumbest situation he could possibly muster, and maybe this was madness, permanent and irrevocable. Then he found the dossier. Subject, Rose Parson, Aurora 1, age 29, college dropout, drifter, suspected con artist, network of friends and contacts across multiple states, known to operate under numerous aliases, arrest record in 3 states, all sealed. The worst possible scenario for babysitting, someone compelled to cooperate against her will, with connections everywhere, and enough charisma to disappear in any crowd. Mark stared at the screen. For the first time since arriving, his sarcasm faltered. The orders weren't a joke, and this wasn't a joke. And He wasn't a babysitter. He was standing next to a live wire, praying not to get fried. Motherfucker, he muttered.